What's going on, guys? It is Nightmare, and today I'm joined by.
Rising, yes, I'm on this series too. No, this is not a collab channel.
No, it is not. So don't think of it like it is. But so since you guys loved Rising in my What If Naruto was the Avatar series, he wanted to join. So here he is, and I will be making. I don't know if Rising wants me to tell you this, so I won't tell you what it's going to be about. But I will be making a vid on his channel, and I'll link that down in the description.
I'll personally tell them because I don't really mind. I don't think because it's coming out the day of recording. It's coming out like a day or two, the day or the day after me of recording it. So it's gonna just be about where's my place Otsutsuki. And no, for the people who watch Anime X, no, it's not a ripoff of this series. It's two completely different things.
Even
Just
though
have a
I
thing.
do love the character of Asahi.
Anyway, I'm done talking.
Alright, so cue the intro. Guys, so the way that this what if will actually happen, Deku will be born 2 months younger than Todoroki, and he will have a really cool version of Icy Hot, and I'll let Rising explain it.
So basically, actually, hi. It's kind of similar, but instead of Deku having just red flames and then have the blue ice, he has blue flames with the ice, with the blue ice, but also he has a maker, like it's a maker quirk. So like it's like from Grateful Buster from Fairy Tale, how he has ice make basically the same thing, just with ice and fire. So like this is an example. He would make like a fire cannon or like a fire horse or something like along those lines. So yeah, that's the abilities that he has. But I'll let Nightmares take it from here.
So when Deku was born, he already showed signs of having both his mother and his father's quirk, but better. So when he was born, a bunch of fire and ice started surrounding Deku. Uh, if you know, like not that much that it will burn him, but good enough that it can be noticeable. And from this day, Deku will always be Endeavor's favorite. Rising.
Yeah, he's in their favorite, and Todoroki is not this time, and it's much like the similarities from Demon Slayer, which Yoriichi and his brother. And this time, Yoriichi is Todoroki, just without besides the special abilities. His father is showing their favorite. His father shows favoritism for Deku, and he doesn't beat Deku brutally. Like he beat him once to instill the force, like a strong, like just strength in general. But he brutally beats all his other children. He does fatherly things with Deku, while he forces his children to fight each other with the other ones. Well, not that extreme, I should say, but he basically just like abuses his children besides Deku and shows Deku fatherly love. And I'll let Nightmare take over. Nightmares.
Like he takes him like shopping. He takes him like to get ice cream and stuff like that. Takes him to the movies. Like takes him out to eat. Like he acts like a normal great dad when he's with Deku, but when he's not, he acts like a terrible dad. And he's like the original one, but 10 times worse because he found a person that's stronger than even he can ever be in Deku. So he loves Deku a whole bunch more than he would ever love his other uh, children.
Yeah, he loves Deku a lot more than his other children. And also, Dabi currently at this time is developing a mentality that, oh, I forgot. Spoiler word. Dabi is Todoroki's brother. I think, what was his name again?
Uh, what was it, Tenya? So,
It's something 10. But, yeah, he's currently developing the ideal of that he hates favoritism. Like his ideals that he has in the original, he hates favoritism. He hates abuse, especially, and he's thinking about running away from the abusive family that he has. And Deku is just loving his life. Todoroki is in the corner, well, figuratively in the corner sobbing, but he loves his brother, hates his dad, and loves his whole other family. But Deku is stronger than him, yes, but not by much. They're around the same level, but Deku is superb in going to outclassing because he's getting trained by his father, while Todoroki is having to train himself every day, all day, unless brutally getting beat down by his father, which I really don't count that as training. But I like Nightmare's take from here.
so Deku, he never knows that side of his father, like we already said, and his siblings are starting to develop a lot of jealousy for Deku, and Deku's been treated like like Bakugo, like how everyone loves Bakugo and he's treated like a god. Just imagine being Bakugo, but he's not like such a bad person. He just thinks he's better than everyone. So imagine Bakugo, but he's a god. Like he's actually a god. But while Bakugo has no one to check him, he thinks that he's a god. But he's really not. Only Deku is really a god. That is what I'm gonna use to say how what if Deku does something, it's okay because he's a god. But if Todoroki does something, Todoroki's ashamed. You should be ashamed, Todoroki. That's how it is. But Rising can go.
Yeah. So basically, Todoroki's still very strong. Don't get us wrong. He's still very strong. He's just not showing Deku. If Deku's a god, Todoroki would be a demigod, and Bakugo is more likely to be a king than anything. If that, it'd be a really small kingdom to be king of. But yeah, Deku's like a complete god. I want to say he's not overpowered. He's overpowered to like most of the kids, but he's not overpowered to any of the adults.
Because just keep in mind, he's
And
4 years old at the time. So, like, he's not really that OP yet.
and that's a big yet. And he basically just trains every day. He learns how to control his ice and make stuff way better. Like before, if he was making before he was 4, he was making like like a ice ball. Now he's making like a star. But I'll let nightmares take over.
So let's have like a 9 years time skip until where he is in middle school. So if you guys think, wow, it has to get better once they get older, actually it gets a lot worse because Deku gets a lot stronger. So uh, that means more favoritism is shown, and it's like he's determining like resentment. Uh, Shoto is determining like a resentment for Deku. But I'll let Rising continue.
Yeah, Shoto is definitely showing like some really jealousy and resentment. Let's just say that. Is that quite envy? Envy. he's showing envy. And he doesn't really hate Deku. He hates that he could see his father in Deku, and his father can see him in Deku, and showing a lot of favoritism. But also, they go to a private school, and they both have those scars, and like they look very similar. Besides, actual facial features, like how I don't feel like explaining that no more. But yeah, and Deku, if he went from making stars and when he was 4, now he's making whole bazookas. Not really, but like what I mean. Like he's making swords, like he's making standard weapons now. And with his fire, he actually creates like phoenixes, which in this case would be a blue phoenix. And
He
he's
also
like
makes
he
blue
doesn't
dragons, blue fire dragons, stuff like that.
yeah, but he doesn't really rely too much on his fire because he feels like it's overkill. Then so he mainly relies on his ice, like his brother, just for different
Yeah, he
reasons.
uses his fire to really like make things to like transport him. And if he really needs something like devastatingly strong, he'll use his fire. But if he like needs like the basic stuff, like a shield or a spear, he'll use his ice. So how would I say this? To the girls, Deku is a god. They love Deku. Like Deku's bouncing around. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Let me just explain it. So by bouncing around, I mean that he date a girl for like a week. He break up with the girl.
Then go a whole different girl for another week and break up with that. It's like like a endless cycle. Just everyone has one of those in their school. But yeah, Deku bounces around a lot, and his father really doesn't care. No one really in his school cares what he does because he's an absolute god and can destroy them anytime he wants to. And he basically just like, okay, I'm a god. My brother is not strong as me, but he's still very strong. I should respect him, kind of.
And
And Shoto's
this all changes one day where he and Shoto are doing their spar that Endeavor sets up. He always knows that Deku's gonna win, but he just likes seeing his favorite prove why he is his favorite, if you know what I'm saying. So one day in particular, Shoto was like, I hate that and I'll never use my fire. And Deku overhears him and he's like, what did you say about my father? And I'll let Rising say the rest.
Deku's like, what did you just say about my father? How dare you say that about my father? hmm And Deku really does not know his father does. And Shoto, I should say, was like, do you know what he has been doing to me? Pat, my whole life. He's like, what? Giving you everything you want? He's like, no, Deku. He gives you everything you want. He beats me. And Deku is like a realization. It's like a realization, but he don't care. He's like, it's because you're weak and I'm strong. Like he's having his own father's mentality at this point. He is very much a kid, so he very much is impressionable. So he has his father mentality, and Churchill's like, this is don't ever talk to me again, and this is exactly why I hate this in me, and this is exactly why Dobby, his actual name obviously is being said, but I can't remember it, left in the first place because of this abusive household.
And Deku was
And
like, if you ever say something about my dad again, I will destroy you. The only reason why he might abuse you, and to be honest, I don't care, because he has his reasons. Father would not do anything to harm his kids. He loves us. So Deku was like, if you ever say something again, I will fight. And he's like, Endeavor can die. So, Rising, you can take it with the fight.
Deku just it's not really much of a fight. Shoto tries to use ice. Not Naruto. Deku just like completely negates his ice with his fire, and like it's really not even that much of a fight to be very honest. Like Shoto is just on the defensive while Deku is just walking past all his attacks trying to get to him. But when he does get to him, he just like he uses like an ice leg almost and boots him across the whole little complex they had. And Shoto's like, this is exactly why I hate father. And Deku just stomps on his chest, well, on his stomach, and Shoto coughs up like still spit, not really that much blood. He coughs a spit. He's like, and like he nearly knocks out due to the pain. And he's like, "This is exactly why I hate you and father." And Deku stomps on his stomach nut once again, and he knocks out. Zuka.
So Endeavor was like, what's happening? And Deku was like, he said that you are abusive father. He said that you are a terrible father and you can die. So I defended you because you were nothing but good to me my whole life. You gave me everything I want. You're the best dad I could ever ask. And this is like he is realizes that he did paid off. He found like a loyal son. Like people might call it like a loyal soldier, but he doesn't even think of him as a soldier. He thinks of him as a son. But you can continue, Rising.
He thinks of him as a loyal son. Most people will say soldier, but and he realizes that he finally created his perfect son. And he's like, "Good job, Deku. Why don't we go get some ice cream?" And like he just like Deku Endeavor personally kicks away Todoroki because he was in front of the door. And he's like, "Father, why did you?" Deku was like, "Father, why did you do that?" He said he was in our way. And Deku was like, "Yeah, you're right." And like he was just completely his little lap dog. And they went out to get ice cream. But when they came back, Dabi was gone one. Well, he been gone, but also Shoto was gone. Like he just left. He didn't. He's in the letter. He said he left for good, but I let nightmares display.
So actually, he just won't actually be gone for good. He will come back because uh Deku's like no matter how much you disrespect my father, and I don't even see you as a brother anymore, but we used to be close, so I will find you. So he found him one day, like on the corner of the street because he had nowhere to go. So he found him and he literally knocked him out and dragged him back into the house, Rising.
And he drags him back inside the house. I'm like nearly dying because I didn't eat all day. And he drags him back to the house, and he like just throws him in front of his father's like, "Yeah, I found him. He's in the street. He really didn't have nowhere to go." And that was like, you should have just left him there. He's a disappointment of a son that he had to run away. And Deku is finally realizing, wait, maybe my dad's not such a great person.
But
But
he
then
doesn't
Endeavor,
like
after mind mind um mind controlling, just says, nah, he deserved it. He was a horrible son. He deserves everything he gets to him.
and Deku was like, you are right. He did say he hate me. So why did I even do this? You are right, Dad. I should have just left him. But he woke up to Deku having splashed water in his face and having a blue fire kunai to his throat and a chair tied up. And this is where Rising can take it away.
And Deku was like, "Why did you leave it?" And Todoroki Shoto really did not care. He said, because your father is abusive and he's not my father no more. Nor are you my brother. Kill me if you want to. I don't care no more. You are all abusive."
And Deku was like, if you really want to die, that can be arranged. So he stabbed him into the chest, and Endeavor is there. He's encouraging his son. His son told Deku actually came up with this. Hated he started to hate Shoto, and he decided that he would torture him until he decided that Endeavor was a great father. So Endeavor was really just watching his own son being tortured.
So basically, actually, how instead of, it's
Actually,
kind
not
of
tortured
similar,
because of
but
YouTube, just
instead
being
of
severely hurt.
Todoroki, I
Yeah,
mean Deku having just
rising.
red flames and then have the blue ice. He has blue flames with the ice, with the blue ice, but also he has a maker, like
Well,
it's the
rising's
maker
not here,
quirk.
so I'll just
So like it's like
continue where I
from
left off.
Great
So
Flow
he
Buster
saw that
from
his son
Fairy
was
Tail.
being
How he has ice make basically the same
seriously
thing, just with ice and
hurt.
fire. So like this example, he would make like a fire
So
cannon or
he
like a fire
was
horse or
like
something
he
like along those lines.
And then so he saw
So
that and
yeah,
he didn't
that's
care.
the abilities that he
So
has.
he was
But I'll
like,
let Nightmares take it
so
from here.
he started talking, saying, "Why did you leave?" And then Todoroki spit in Deku in Endeavor's face and said, "Because you're a terrible father." So Deku didn't like that answer, so he stabbed him again, and this lasted literally all night. Deku completely hurting uh completely hurting Todoroki until he couldn't bear it anymore and he passed out. And that is where we're gonna be ending. Hopefully you guys liked, and I'll leave Rising's link down in the description so you can check out his newest video that one. It's been Nightmare. I'm out. Peace.